Hey, welcome to your Cancer horoscopes for the week of November 12th through the 18th. Cancer, no planets in Cancer this week. We do still have Vespa bringing an influence of those you love into the mix, but focus is also on your day-to-day schedule, which means that those people that you love could be taking up your day-to-day schedule. Highly possible. Vespa is also retrograde, so to me, I've said in the past, Vespa is known as the eternal flame that burns on the hearth. It's that security place. Cancers love that security feeling, but it's retrograde. So it sort of actually is more of an indication that this week may provide somebody who you feel is supposed to provide that security for you, but isn't, if that makes sense. And this is why this is such a very tough lesson for cancers, especially, is because we need to provide our own security as much as we can, because security isn't guaranteed in this world. And we are taught that lesson numerous times by the people who make us feel temporarily secure, all of a sudden making us feel insecure in some way, shape, or form. And this insecurity can play out in a number of different ways. Either you're insecure with the relationship, or the person's choices put you in a financial insecurity, or I mean, there's a million different scenarios that can work out in. Bottom line here is that most people take this as proof that they're unlovable, that there's something wrong with them, and that's not the case at all. There's something wrong with everybody, okay? There is literally not a person, an individual on this planet that doesn't have some sort of baggage and some sort of problems and some sort of issues trying to make it through this crazy world. And cancers are not the only ones, unfortunately. But in many of the situations with a lot of the cancers that I have known, loved, and worked with, this is a very difficult problem for them. So learn from the problem, provide that security for yourself in some way, shape, or form. Most people don't want to do this. I mean, I've heard so many people say, well, aren't we supposed to have people in our lives? Aren't we supposed to be able to feel love from individuals as humans? Don't we need people in our lives? Yes. But for some reason in all of that, we have decided that those people are supposed to be there for us, drop everything, climb mountains in order to keep proving that they're worth to us. And unfortunately, it just does not work out that way. We have to have some sort of understanding and patience with other people, because everybody goes through their thing, and the most reliable person on the planet can become unreliable really quick for various different reasons. So I feel like this week is providing you with that opportunity to create some of that security for yourself in whatever way works for you, whether it's financial security that you're looking for, whether it's emotional security within a specific person, whether it's the security of where you are and where you live. The more you have control over that, the more secure you are going to feel, not because you can't rely on other people, but because the best person to rely on is looking right at you when you look in the mirror. It is you. Nobody is as reliable as you are, because you're the only one that has control over your choices and what you're going to do with your life. So this may play out in a myriad of different ways. Chances are it's going to play out in a couple of different instances this week with people who you thought were reliable, and then all of a sudden it turns out it seems like they're not reliable. Then it also doesn't mean that they're going to be unreliable forever either. People are temporarily unreliable all the time for various different reasons. And it's not because they're bad people. Sometimes somebody can't be there for you because they got to work, or they have their own things going on. I've often found in many of the instances where I have had been in a very deep emotional place, usually the space where that's when most of us reach out to other people the most. And I found myself in those situations to where I've reached out and nobody was there. I just didn't have anybody to be there. And most of the time at the end of it, I understood that that happened for a reason, that there was nothing anybody was going to do or say that was going to make that situation better. In the end, I had to be on my own, going through the situation and understanding and learning what it was teaching me. And even my mentor could not do that for me. I had to do it for myself. And so when you find yourself in a situation like that, chances are there's a reason for it. It's not something that anybody else is going to be able to fix. It's something that you have to learn for you in order to be able to move on to the next step in the search for your security. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my Ko-fi link. I really appreciate all the copies. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching, and I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you guys just be the powerful beings that I know you can be, that you know deep down that you can be, without the fear, regardless of what anybody else says about your choices. It's all about you and what you're doing to make your life the badass life that you want. And that includes that security for yourself. I know you guys can do it. I'll see you guys next week. Make it a great week, you guys.